best morning show on the globe. It's Bradley and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy. I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing. Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Brad in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. Your face says it all.
The only thing that makes today a good morning is that I don't need to put a seizure warning on my video anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, the sun's shining. That's cool.
Birds are chirping.
Birds are chirping. That's fun. It's a little chilly, but it'll be 70 today, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's been a nice week so far, weather-wise.
Yeah, it has. You know what wasn't nice? A 35-point loss in Game 5.
Yeah.
You know what tells you everything you need to know? When your team loses by that much, you watch the game, and the game was so bad that you don't actually retain any individual incident. It was just bad collectively. I have a hard time recalling any individual play besides Embiid getting hit in the face with the ball, because collectively, I watched diarrhea on TV all night.
Yeah. Not at all what we were expecting.
I thought they were going to get the dub. I thought about throwing Sixers money line down. I'm glad I didn't. Thank God I didn't.
Me too. I thought they were going to win the game too. All the momentum was on their side. So last night, as you know, I don't really tweet a lot, but I was compelled to tweet last night. And if you wouldn't mind throwing it up on the screen for everyone to see.
Yeah, it's actually a little funny.
This rare moment for me to tweet. And this is kind of the theme of, how I want to unpack this.
Well, the funny thing about it is that you wanted to quote the tweet in our pre-show.
Yeah.
I wanted to display the tweet, and we didn't discuss that.
No.
And it just so happens the once a month time you tweet happens to be the same post that we both want to show.
Right.
So why don't you break this down, because this is a deep statement you make here.
So I'll read it to the people just in case you're listening. I said this is from 9:58, probably about 25 minutes after everything ended. After watching something like that, you got to ask yourself a serious question. Who are the leaders on this team? How in a Game 5 do you come out like that? Unbelievable. And there's been a lot of talk about Joel Embiid. I'm going to start with him because it always starts with him. It has to. Why? Because he's the best player on the team. It's funny because I went on Twitter again today, and he's a trending topic right now. And a lot of people are discussing how they feel like it's unfair that people want to be critical of his attitude and his low energy because of everything he's dealing with injury-wise, which I say horse bleep. And this is why. Because you can't have it both ways. You can't say we feel like Joel Embiid is going to come out and kill because he lost MVP. But then on the other hand, when he doesn't do that, say, no, you can't say be critical of his play because of his face and thumb. Listen, it is obvious he's in pain. It is obvious he's dealing with injuries. I am not for 1 second going to come here and say that he's not. And I understand all of that. However, throughout the history of Joel Embiid's career, he's always been an emotional front runner.
Yep.
He front runs emotionally. When things are going really well, when he's in a good place, when the stars are aligned, he's laughing, he's throwing his hands up to the crowd, he's gesturing, he's doing all of these things. Games 3 and 4, I knew he was in pain. However, I also knew he was engaged. I knew that. You saw that. You saw that by his play. You saw that by his attitude. he was locked in. Game 5, and it's so crazy because it's a mirror image of Game 5 in Toronto a couple years ago. It was the same. If you go back and watch that game, it was basically the same game. Series tied 2-2, and you get the doors blown off because your best player is Mopey Mope. Well, listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't say he's going to go out there and kill, and when he doesn't, make excuses for why he doesn't kill. That Chris Haynes report that came out about Joel Embiid sitting by himself, not wanting to talk to his teammates, I took that as, oh man, he's really upset about this MVP thing. I think he's going to come out here and put on a show. Everyone thought that. When he hits that first jump shot to put us up 2-0, I was like, oh, here we go. Joe's upset. This is good. Here we go. After that, I know he was frustrated with not getting the ball out in the first quarter because he didn't. And listen, sometimes you got to give the other team credit too. They did a great job denying him the ball. They really did. They were all over him, making sure he touched the ball. And that's on Doc Rivers to make those adjustments. However, his body language, what he still fails to realize is that his body language is so tied in to this team's success because he is the alpha male of this squad. Why? He is the best player. The Sixers don't have a PJ Tucker. They don't have a Patrick Beverly. They don't have a Jimmy Butler type. They don't have that sort of leadership on their team. So by default, it has to be Joel Embiid because he's the best player. If they had one of those guys, which they sorely need, they need one of those guys. If they had one of those guys, it wouldn't affect them as much because right now there's nobody on this team to say, like Charles Barkley said at halftime, which he's getting killed for, which I agree with. Barkley said at halftime, they need somebody to say, Joe, get your head out of your ass. I don't know what's going on with you. We need you here, bro. Focus up. Let's go. Strap it on. They were only down 12 at halftime. Which really they should have been down by 30 at halftime, not 12. And at that point there, at halftime, there should have been furniture moving. There should have been people throwing things around because you allowed this team. When Miami started this game off, you could see they were shaky. They missed maybe their first 5 or 6 shots. They had no confidence. And by the Sixers' negligence and turnovers and being unprepared and unmotivated, it gave them confidence. And when you did that, you obviously gave the game away. And this all starts with Joel Embiid. And if you don't understand that, I don't understand you. He's the best player on the team. This is how it goes when you're the best player on the team. You can't just decide to have those emotions, those good emotions when you want to. That's why I go back to my original point. He's an emotional front runner. He always has been this way. Love the guy to death. Want him on my team. He's unbelievably tough for what he's going through right now. I can imagine the pain of getting a basketball smacked off your broken face. I get all of that. It doesn't excuse his emotions throughout this game. It just doesn't. And it starts there.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I said last week that when Embiid's hurt or injured, you know he's hurt or injured. He doesn't let you forget that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think that I'm not bashing him as much as everybody else is because I think that ball off the face in the second quarter, something like that. It was in the first half.
Yeah, first half, yeah.
I think that sent shockwaves through his entire body. And that definitely made him a little hesitant, I think. So I'm not going to kill him from the standpoint of, he's mad about the MVP and all that. I don't think that's what the issue is. I think the issue is that shot to the face startled him. It scared him, and it made him play scared. That's the issue with Embiid, number one. The other issue is James Harden looks like he forgot to play basketball again. Yeah. Yesterday, he did not remember how to play the game about basketball. It goes back to the Stephen A. Smith quote about I forget who he was talking about, but he's like, keep them away from basketball and basketball related items. Keep them. That's how it was the other day. Niang again, nothing.
Yeah, stop right there with him.
Okay.
Because, he has given you nothing basically his entire playoffs. And now there's whispers out there that he's dealing with some sort of lower body issue, some sort of injury. I don't know. It hasn't been fully reported, but there are stuff out there maybe happening. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if I'm Doc Rivers, game 6, I go to Korkmaz first on those minutes.
I was just about to say he's already not athletic.
Right.
And now if you're telling me he's dealing with a lower body injury, probably a leg injury, ankle, knee, hip maybe, some kind of muscle issue in his legs. So you're going to tell me a guy who's already unathletic is then going to continue to be out there while hampered by an injury that depletes his already limited athleticism?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't want Korkmaz on the court any more than the next guy does, but I don't think I want Niang on the court either.
I don't, and I just at this point now you're desperate. You gotta think outside the box a little bit. And I will say this, Korkmaz, I know it was garbage time last night, but he looked spry. He was moving well.
I mean, when you play the amount of minutes he plays, he better be spry.
Right. I feel like going to him right now makes the most sense. And I'm not saying you don't play Niang, but Korkmaz should get first nod on those minutes right now. And then if he doesn't have it, then you try to go back to Niang and see if maybe you can get something going. But it can't be Niang out there first. Because he's giving you absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Let me ask you real quick. I saw a lineup last night for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you saw this too.
Yeah.
I believe it was second quarter. 44 and 21 were on the court at the same time.
I did notice that.
I hope I never see that again.
Yeah. I mean,
like, I don't ever want to see that again.
Yeah.
I saw Reed pass the ball to Embiid. And in my head, I was like, oh, Reed passed the ball to Embiid. Then I sat there for a second. I was like, wait. Reed passed the ball to Embiid. Like, what is going on here? So I hope I never see that again.
And you saw, listen.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That hasn't happened before, right?
No, you're right. That hasn't happened.
Thanks.
Back to Embiid for a minute. His post-game press conference, he told himself. He talked about himself and the team using words like, we didn't play hard enough. The effort wasn't there. Well, who do you think that falls on first? Who do you think that goes to first? It's you. It starts with you.
Did you hear Doc after the game?
No. I heard during the game. I heard enough when he was screaming at them, basically to get their lives together.
Yeah, and I like that. I needed that. I needed that.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
After the game, he said, "We weren't ready to play. I didn't have them ready to play. They weren't ready to play." But that goes back to ready. Let's pull it right back up.
Yeah.
Who are the leaders on this team?
Please explain to me how a game 5 series tied 2-2, you just won 2 on your home floor, how you're not ready to play. If they listen, this is game 5 on the Heat home court. I know it's not a great home court advantage, but if they came out,
no one was in the building, by the way.
Right. You lose a hard-fought game by 5. Some breaks didn't go your way. Okay. Yeah, you're disappointed, but okay. But to lose by 35?
Yep.
The Miami Heat are not 35 points better than the Philadelphia 76ers. They're just not. They're not. And, it was evident in just, again, the play. Like simple things like this. You come out at halftime, you're down 12, you score right away to get within 10. Embiid gets within 10. Next possession, Heat get the ball. Matt Fuse hits a 3. Misses a 3. Gets his own rebound. Sound familiar? Because that's the thing. With the Heat, it's turnovers, offensive rebounds. That is their lifeline, their lifeblood. They are not a good offensive team. You give them offensive rebounds, you turn the ball over,
and Kyle Lowry didn't even play.
Gives them life. It gives them life. And you did that all night. You had 9 turnovers in the first half, leading to 15 Miami Heat points.
They only had 9?
Yeah, right. I know, it feels like way more, and 4 of them within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And you're talking really bad, like there was a play, and this is when things were starting to get out of hand, where Embiid's going to throw. And listen, again, another guy we love, Tyrese Maxey, but come on, bro. Where were you last night?
No.
Where were you?
Legitimate question. When did they arrive to Miami?
So I'm assuming Sunday late. I'm usually you fly out after games, so I'm assuming late Sunday night. I would think so.
I need to check.
What time did that game start? Sunday was 8:00. So, I mean, maybe they do it early Monday morning.
I just want to know where the social media videos of James Harden was for Monday night.
Well, for his sake, nothing better come out of him being anywhere near Club Live.
I'm thinking that he was at KOD
or bed. He better not be any of those places.
You know, I mean, you have to. It's
here's the major problem. Here's the major problem they have is that emotionally.
I mean, it's not. What does it say about a 32, almost 33-year-old, multiple-time All-Star, former league MVP, scoring champion, first ballot Hall of Famer, 10-year vet, all of that, blah, blah, blah. What's it say that at this point in his career, I have to sit here and I'm only half joking when I say, where was he at on Monday night?
Right.
But like, what does it say about him that we even have to have this discussion?
Well, here's the problem the Sixers have is that emotionally, James
minus 29.
Joel Embiid and James, yeah, both of them were. Joel Embiid and James Harden are the same person emotionally. They basically are the same person emotionally. And that's the struggle you have because you have those two who are on emotional front run side. Tobias Harris is not going to say boo to anybody. Tyrese Maxey's too young, and I don't really know that I don't know who he will evolve in when he gets older. We have no idea. Danny Green is not that type of leader. Who else am I missing? And then you have a bunch of guys who have no right to say anything. Like, who else are you going to listen to? If George Yang starts talking, you listen to him? No. You're not going to listen to Furkan Korkmaz. You're not listening to Matisse Thybulle. You're not listening to any of those guys. So you got a headless snake really at the end of the day on this team is that there's nobody that you're going to respect in there moving furniture like that. They don't have anybody like that. And I'm going to answer my own question. You know, it was rhetorical, but the question is they have no leadership. They have, and that's all. Isn't that kind of always been the problem of these processing?
It's always the issue.
There's no real leadership on this squad. There's no one really because when Jimmy Butler was here, he was here for such a short amount of time. The impact of his style of leadership never had time to take fold. He was only here for 6 months, so he never really had time to shape the team in his image and mold in his image. If he was here now at this point in time, best believe furniture had been moved in that locker room.
Oh yeah.
However, he wasn't here long enough. So you go into that summer, and then you give the controls to Ben and Joe, and obviously Ben's we know he's not that guy, and so they've always been missing that component.
Yeah,
and it shows up in games like last night where you're going on the road. It's obviously an important game. Your series tied 2-2, blah, 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 all of that. And you don't have that guy to galvanize the troops and get them together. Because let's be honest, I don't believe Joel Embiid wants to be that guy. I don't think that's his personality. However, again, when you're the best player and there's none of that guys on the team, you by default have to be that guy. And that's the struggle.
It's just so frustrating because it doesn't matter. The cast can change, the director can change, you know, the producers can change, but it's still at the end of the season is always the same movie over and over and over again. And at this point in time, it's just so frustrating.
Well, here's the thing for me that I'm struggling with is that Thursday night, Game 6. And, I mean, can I really sit through a Game 7 again? Do I want this thing just to be over now? Like, do I
If
really
they
want
go
to?
to 7, I may not even watch 7. And
Do I really want to? Do I really want to put myself through this again with
no,
another game 7 for the squad?
no.
Because again, you go back to the same issues. What? Who's going to step up and be that leader? Because yeah, listen, if Sixers win Game 6, they get off to a great start in Game 7. They're going to be fine. They'll be fine because they can front run. They can front run emotionally. They'll carry that wave. They'll be okay. But what happens in a game like last night when things don't go well in the beginning? That game, listen, it didn't get out of hand till the fourth quarter.
Oh, it was getting kind of out of hand in the third quarter.
They were treading water. They were treading water. And so they go into the fourth quarter down 15. But you're still in the NBA. That's still
not
15.
You can overcome 15 and a quarter.
Yeah.
But not much more than that.
Exactly. That's what I mean. They were on life support going to the fourth quarter.
Like,
however, what happens?
20's kind of tough to overcome. You can overcome 15.
Yeah.
But once you get to like 17, 18,
19, yeah,
then it becomes
down 81-66 going to the fourth. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, here it is. You need a quick 8-0 spurt to give yourself a shot down the stretch. Not the Heat 8-0 spurt, the Sixers 8-0 spurt.
And here's an issue I had with I mean, I pointed this issue out after game 3, I believe. But there was one specific play in the first quarter when they're right around the right side of the 3-point line. And Embiid's waiting to post up, get the pass.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's Maxey that passes him the ball. This tiny little bounce pass, like at his legs. Embiid can't see the low passes with his mask. You have to give it to him at the hip or higher.
Yep.
It bounced right off his leg, and Embiid's look like gives him the shrug, like I can't see the ball. Like you have to give it to me higher.
Right.
You gotta give him the no. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you want to bounce it to him, give it to him low, let him turn around and get in his position. But with the mask, you have to put it up higher where he can see the ball. And it was not on greater display than it was on that individual play right there. Like I said, I think it was Maxey that gives him the pass.
Miami's not hiding anything. They're playing a zone pretty much a matchup zone the entire game.
It's because when they go to man, Embiid eats his lunch.
Right. They're playing a variation of a zone the entire game. What this needs to be is Embiid has got to just get comfortable, which I think is operating in the high post. Those deep post possessions, he's going to have to get comfortable catching the high post, shooting those little foul line jumpers, which he can make. They're very makeable shots for him. They're fronting him a lot, and the Sixers are having an impossible time getting the ball down to him in the low block. I don't think he caught the ball in the low block once in that game, which he got a couple catches down there in game 4 and game 3. He didn't get any down there at all. But again, it's collective, right? I mean, you have the thing that's frustrating is that you have a collective group of guys that could be able to score pretty much whenever they want to. Sixers when Embiid and Harden play, by statistics, not by me, by statistics, are a top 5 offense in the NBA. And last night they struggled to score 80 points, scored 85 points last night, and really. The starters had 66 points last night. They were pretty much taking out very early in that fourth quarter. So it's just extremely frustrating because of the fact that
it's not that they lost the game.
Yeah.
On the road in the playoffs, it's not that you lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's that it looks like you were still in Philly.
Right. Right. The idea that you didn't even show up to the game. And, it's just like we're getting to that point now, like major changes is, obviously we're not getting rid of Embiid. Harden, I want him back next year. But
it's kind of out of our hands. No, it's obviously out of our hands because neither one of us are Daryl Morey. But it's kind of if he wants to be here next year, he will be here next year because we'll just opt into his 44, 47, however much it is.
Yeah.
Option for next year. It's like we said about Ben Simmons last year. These other GMs have cable too. They
Right.
have Verizon, they have Comcast. They see this too.
Right.
If Harden says, "Well, I got a max offer on the table," see ya. Like
Right.
it has to be, I'll see ya.
Right. And
You can't pony up just to match an extension to bring him back. The only reason he's coming back next year for me is if he opts in, because an extension is off the table. It is completely off the table. The door cracked open a little bit for game 4,
mhm.
and the wind blew that mofo shut yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, he listen, and he should know that next year for him is going to have to be a prove it year. I don't believe he's done. I still have to watching, not watching. Just the way he was playing just last year before the hamstring. I can't think like he just needs a body transformation. He's got to get some weight off.
He needs to
was
go to one of those
pounds.
he needs to go to like one of those like crazy like getaway like resorts for like those billionaires in like Wyoming or like Idaho or something where that you do all sorts of like
Mhm.
spiritual and physical transformations and what like that's what he needs.
I agree. He needs a body transformation.
He needs to go hang out with
He needs to lose about 20 pounds, and he needs to just play ball this summer. Like, you need to just play ball this summer. Get in some open gyms, get in some NBA players. I need you playing a lot this summer. I need you coming back in shape and ready to go. Because right now, you're not that. Like even when he's taking the ball to the rim, the reason why he's being contested, he has no lift at the rim. Like he's not getting off the ground at all when he goes to the rim. Like nothing. Like he's not getting off the ground at all. Yeah, so he was non-existent. Tyrese Maxey, listen, again, it's the same argument I have for Embiid. It can't be both ways. We can't be praising you when you score 34, but then we can't talk about you when you suck. You sucked last night.
he sucked.
You weren't there. It literally seemed like his mind was just somewhere else. I don't know where that was, but he wasn't there. And, maybe it's getting to the point where some of these moments are getting too big for him. At the end of the day, he is 21. But I still could be critical of that because you've put yourself in a position with your play and the things we know you're capable of to now be criticized like everyone else.
I mean, if you're going to drop 38 points, 5 3-pointers, run down the court, give the hand, the hand to the crowd.
Yeah.
And when you turn around and what do you have? 11?
If that, I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, I don't even know if he had that many points. Let me know when you have the box score up. But
9 points in 32 minutes.
9. See, then I can. If you're going to drop
3 boards, 1 assist in 32 minutes.
I mean, could you have gone in and done that?
I give you 5.
Well, what if we just put you in the corner? Let you shoot corner threes.
Oh, I'm going. If you give me 8 corner threes right now, I'd get 3. I get 3 of them for you.
That's what I'm saying.
I get 3 corner threes for
like you could shoot better than Niang could this series. I've seen you shoot before. I know you could shoot better this series than he could.
Oh yeah. I can still put it up.
So
the cardio might be in trouble, but I can put it up.
I'm gonna say, I mean, you guys are pretty much probably the same on the defensive side at this point.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
But at least I know that your shots will find the bottom of the net.
Yeah, they will. Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
you might actually like put a body on somebody on a rebound or something like that. Like that might happen. It's not happening right now.
Well, the fundamentals are still there. See, here's the deal, Justin. This is torturous for me because I am in a dilemma I've never been in before with a team where I'm like, I don't even know if I want you to win Game 6 because
your face got a whole lot more stressful when you started that sentence.
I don't want to do this again. I don't want to be here because listen, damn, here's the deal. If they win Game 6, yes, I'm going to be back in. I'm going to be committed. I'm going to be hurrying home from Boston on Sunday.
Have they announced the time of Game 6 yet? The start time for Thursday?
7 ESPN.
7 tomorrow? Okay, ESPN.
7 ESPN, which they're undefeated on ESPN in the playoffs, which is good. So 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Scott Foster game?
I don't think the refs have been announced yet.
Okay.
We'll find out. But 7 p.m. ESPN game. Listen, I'm gonna be watching. Obviously, like everyone else is. They win the game to be committed. I'm gonna be committed for the next couple of days, gassing myself up that they're gonna go out there and shock the world in Game 7, knowing good and well my heart is gonna be prepared to be broken into 1,000 pieces again for a third Game 7 in 4 years in the second round.
Yeah, it's almost unfathomable.
Yeah.
Like, obviously to a lesser degree, but I'm starting to feel like those Buffalo Bills fans in the 90s.
I mean, at least they made it to the Super Bowl.
I know.
And then, like, the thing is, like, you look at these teams they've lost to. You know, the Raptors of 19 was the best team they lost to. You know, that was one of those things where it was disappointing the way the series unfolded. But going into that series, you knew it was going to be a really, really tough series. The Hawks last year, they you know, we let's document it. They should have won that series. They were overwhelming favorites. They were overwhelming better teams should have won the series. And, you know, going into this series, I felt pretty good about their chances. After watching those first 2 games, again, the reason why I was so frustrated, I said to myself, this team's a better team than them. They're better. And I still believe that. It's hard to say that losing by 35, but I still believe that. Like, you're going to lose a series to Max Strus?
I know.
Max Strus is sending you, Gabe Vincent sending you home?
And then I got to see.
Your backcourt is Tyrese Maxey and James Harden, and then Max Strus and Gabe Vincent are sending you home? Come on, man.
And then I have to watch DJ Khaled's fat ass walk up and down the sideline with a bandana for his shirt, massaging Eric Spoelstra's shoulders.
Yeah, and like, look, yeah, they have a half-empty arena. The crowd, it's crazy. In a Game 5, the crowd wasn't even a factor, and your team won by 35.
That's because they weren't there.
They couldn't have cared less. They didn't care. They literally didn't care.
Did not care at all.
Can you imagine the Wells Fargo Center if we had a Game 5 up, and we win by 35? What would be going on in that arena?
Let me give you a hypothetical.
Ugh.
So you know the rumors about Bradley Beal and all that this offseason.
Yeah, I actually was going to bring that up. Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Would you trade Maxey and Thibault?
I'll tell you why I wouldn't. Because it's, again, what this team needs. This team needs leadership. They're a headless snake. Bradley Beal is the same type of guy that Embiid and Harden are. He's Joe Cool. He's not gonna be firing up the team or assuming any sort of leadership. So now you're telling me I got Beal, Harden, Embiid, Harris. They're my personalities. They're my best players, and those are the personalities I have. No,
you'd have to give up Harris in a to them for contract purposes, like make sure the salaries match up and all that. You'd have to get rid of Harris for that.
And I don't want to get like. Listen, I'm upset with Maxey's play in Game 5. I'm not giving him up for Bradley Beal, a guy who can't. And also, Bradley Beal is injury prone. He can't complete the season.
You know who Bradley Beal looks like? It reminds me of.
Who's that?
Lickety Split from 8 Mile.
That's the tank top screaming "I don't fit you."
No, that's Lotto.
That's okay. Lotto.
The one with the headband and the black like leather baseball jersey.
Okay.
The one who looks like a worm with braids.
Oh, right, the worm with braids. Yeah. Okay.
He looks like Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I don't want any parts of Bradley. And Bradley Beal has loser juice all over him. He can't show you how to win. He has never won anything. I don't want him here. I don't like. Listen, give me a Marcus Smart type. I want a PJ Tucker type. I want a Pat Bev type. I want a Draymond type. That's what this team is missing. They need that type of guy. The talent is there. The talent is not the problem. The emotional credibility is the issue. That's the problem. They are all guys who can't step up and say, yo, asshat, you need to play better. Let me ask you a question. In the years of this, because it's basically the same team besides Harden for the past couple years.
Yeah.
When have you heard any dust-ups at all? When have you heard any like the players getting in any kind of altercation with each other, getting chippy?
Never.
Nothing.
They don't even hang out.
They do. They love each other. It's a love fest. They love each other.
Well, yeah, but when was the last time you saw, like, when you see them all in, like, Embiid, you see him at a soccer game, you see him at the Super Bowl. He's not with teammates.
Yeah. I mean, you
Like,
look
you see, like, you see James Harden out. He may love his teammates, but he's not out with his teammates.
You see
Danny Green out. He's
Yeah.
not out with his teammates. Also, we got to talk about Tobias Harris fit going into that game yesterday.
Hold on, before we get to that, you see the Miami Heat and the Heat culture and all of that. You had Jimmy Butler literally ready to fight his coach in the middle of a game.
Yep.
Adonis Haslam and him get into literally almost a physical altercation on the sidelines. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, the Heat are imploding." No, this is what happens when you really care about winning. Sometimes these things are going to happen. That's how this works. It happens now where you're playing with guys and you have to get on guys. Say, "Yo, let's go." You're not living up to your end of the bargain. The Sixers don't have anyone to do that. No one. And it can't be, when it gets to the NBA level, it can't be your head coach. It can't.
No, it has to be a player.
That's college, high school. The head coach could be that guy to get in a guy's behind. It can't be that in the NBA level. It needs to be a peer. Sixers have no peers to do that, and they never have. That's the guy you need to find this offseason. You need to find that guy.
There's only so many of them now.
Say again?
There's only so many of them.
Right. But that's what they're missing. That's the problem. There's absolutely no leadership, no accountability on this squad at all.
And you don't have the crybaby now, so it's okay.
Right.
So, Tobias Harris fit. What was that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Let me get
I didn't see Toby fit.
It was so bad that because I went out and watched the first half of the game last night, and they had in the first half they had it like they had it on, but they didn't have the audio on, like during the pregame show. But I could just tell what Charles Barkley was saying about Tobias Harris' outfit without having to hear what he was saying about that outfit.
Why you're looking for that?
Yes.
You know, I go back to 2 nights ago watching the Bucks and the Celtics. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes on the court, dunks on Al Horford, and starts snarling at him, talking to him. Big Al says, "Okay, all right."
Oh, yes, yeah.
All right. Fourth quarter goes off for 16, including dunking on Giannis's face. And after the game, he was asked about it. And he said, I'm going to paraphrase him here. He basically said, "Listen, it was something about the way he looked at me. I didn't like it. It was something about the way he looked at me. I don't know what it was, but I knew I didn't like it. I want to do something about it." Who is that guy for the Sixers?
They don't have one.
They don't have a guy like that gets angry. And that's why, going back to my original point about the Embiid thing, that's why, like I said, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, "Oh, man, he's not talking to his teammates this morning because he's really mad about not winning the MVP. He's going to go out there and kill." And then when he doesn't, it's because of his face and his thumb. No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. You can't now make me feel bad when I was all in his corner saying he's going to – that's what you watch the pregame show. That's all Charles and Shaq wanted to talk about was how Embiid was going to go light the city on fire in Miami because of the MVP thing.
You ready for this?
And then when it didn't happen, everybody was confused.
You ready for this fit?
I am. Wow, that's a lot of thigh. That is an aggressive amount of thigh meat.
Especially for a man that's 6'9".
That is, his shorts are so far removed from his kneecaps. It's uncomfortable. See, here's the deal. When you hear the deal, like, listen, is that Shake in the background?
And I believe it's Danny Green behind him.
What is Shake wearing?
Sweatpants and a shirt.
Okay. So here's the deal, bro. If you're going to have an outfit like that, it's fine. If this is how you feel, that's fine.
You got it. You got to
drop 30. You better drop 30 when showing all the kneecaps. You got to drop 30.
I mean,
I'm not mad at the color scheme and stuff. It's just those shorts are a little too short for my liking.
and they were leather.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He come out looking like he was in Top Gun.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Now,
That's a lot there.
When like I said, they showed that like you know how they show him walking into the stadium.
Okay.
Then they cut to Barkley, and Barkley just starts laughing, and you could just
Did you see Barkley wear model Tyler Hero's fit, calling himself Carlos?
No, I did not. That's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. He actually the fit Tyler Hero wore after, I believe after game 2. He had like
did he have
something similar. It was a short set, but it was like red and the sunglasses with the beater with the chains. He wore that.
I'll go look that up.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Like once the game started, Sarah was like, Tobias Harris shorts in the game are longer than the shorts he wore when he showed up. I was like, yeah, no.
Well, PJ Tucker, he was warming up in some wild shorts too. He had like the old school. Do you remember back in the day, everyone like the soccer players with the Umbros?
Well, did you see the guy in game 4?
Umbro
Did you see the guy in the stands in game 4 that had the Louis Vuitton shirt on? Ben Simmons, Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton?
Yeah, somebody in the crowd for game 4
was rocking
a had on the same sweater.
I love that shirt. Hate that man, but love that shirt.
I mean,
quality fit. Listen, Ben's fits weren't missing. The only one I didn't like was
the wild one.
Yeah, that was the one I was like, that's a little too much. But other than that, Ben was Black Mass Braun in his fits. like that was actually funny. Someone put out, you know the famous LeBron meme where he's holding his shorts and his eyes look like he's like possessed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
it was like the caption was, when Ben gets ready to pick out his fits.
Fact. I mean, he was treating the sideline for those games like the Met Gala.
Yeah, it was a fashion show.
Yeah, it was Kanye was probably got a couple ideas from watching it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, his stylist was killing the game. Like, no question, his stylist had everything locked. But
you see, Nick Castellanos bought his house.
Nick Castellanos is the man. Yeah, I did see that. But my guy is coming out right now. First of all, the Phillies have some of the worst walk-up music.
So bad, don't they?
Despite Nick Castellanos, my guy pulls up to Pusha T Diet Coke.
He was earlier walking up to drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, and now he's going push Diet Coke, which I'm in for. I'm in.
Yeah. No, I like Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, we'll obviously get in it's not time to talk about. They lose last night 5-4.
We're giving them until Memorial Day to figure everything out.
All right, I want to switch gears slightly for a second because I did want to bring up something with the Eagles.
Okay.
Number one,
schedule comes out tomorrow.
Yes, number one, Nakobe Dean.
Okay.
I am so confused about the situation.
What? What's perplexing you?
Okay, so a lot of the talk with him was the injury.
Yep.
And that's why he dropped and fell so far. He's been a full participant in practice.
Yep.
Since last week. What I'm confused about is the disconnect between the intel that the Eagles had and the intel that the rest of the NFL had. I don't understand how you get this so wrong.
Well, so let me explain. So part of it is because it's the I forget what the word for it is. Like where there's something wrong with them. What does someone else know that I don't know? So that's why some teams stayed away. Like once he started falling, some GMs said to themselves, well, why is he falling? What does, that other team know that I don't know? So I think part of that is some of that. Like once he didn't go in the second round, I think, for example, Howie said he was like going into the third round, he was on my radar. And once he didn't get picked in the first 2 or 3 picks in the third round, I turned to our head medical person, head doctor, and goes, what did we miss? Like we missed something. And the doctor turned and said to me, he goes, no, all of our work is checked out. If you're confident pulling the trigger, we're confident in our research.
And Howie pulling a linebacker in the third round is Howie. A starting linebacker in the third round for Howie. Howie goes, bring him in. This is what I always wanted.
So I think that is some of the issue is that it just some people got scared like, all right, other people might have information that I don't have. So that's number one. Number two is that it's a pec injury. You get surgery on the pec, you rehab it, it gets better. It's not an Achilles, it's not an ACL, it's not a torn hamstring, it's not a rotator cuff for a quarterback, it's none of that. This is a pec. You get surgery on it, you rehab it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Embiid's meniscus. Well, you don't even really remember that he tore his meniscus last year and he didn't have surgery for it and he only rehabbed it.
Right.
Dean didn't want to go under the knife. He wanted to only rehab it. And that was seen as kind of a red flag. Well, like, why don't you want surgery? Just get surgery and it's over with. But if you get surgery in college, you're viewed as damaged goods when you come to the NFL. So part of that is he just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it got to a point in Georgia, or I should say while he was at Georgia, that some of the coaches used to, because he didn't practice this whole season because of that injury. He was basically on the Plaxico Burress game plan. You don't practice, you come in and you ball out, and then you go during film study all week, you come back and you ball out during the game. Because if you remember, during that playoff run with the Giants, Plaxico didn't practice notoriously didn't practice the whole season.
Right.
So that's what he was doing in Georgia, basically. And the coaches would make a joke like, well, we don't know if Nakobe's going to play this week. And then he goes out and has 22 tackles. So that's part of it. And I think that let's be honest, he's pissed off that he was a third-round pick. And you are going to have to pry this guy off the field.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Obviously, he's a guy I want to hear, so I'm excited we got him.
Long term, I probably wish he would have gotten the surgery already. But I mean, it's hard to fault all the NFL has some of the best doctors on the planet. He's around the best therapists, the best trainers, the best nutritionists, all of that.
Right.
So you can't tell a athlete how to feel about their body. So if he feels that he doesn't need to do it and the results on the field say that he doesn't need to do it, who am I to be mad that he didn't have the surgery?
Right.
I wish he would have, but the results speak for themselves.
So question number 2.
Okay.
And this comes from Pro Football Focus.
Oh, God. Okay.
Reputable.
I mean, that means that this could be a very suspect question, but what's up?
Well, I'm gonna ask you because this caught me by surprise. I want to see if it caught you by surprise.
Okay.
So they put out a question.
Sure.
Best team in the NFC. And they just did it with logos. With a question mark. Best team in the NFC, question mark, with logos.
Okay.
You have the Packers.
Okay.
Bucks, Cowboys.
Okay.
Rams. Niners. Cardinals. And the last logo is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Does that surprise you at all?
For the entire conference, yes. I'll be very open about everything right now. Eagles are plus 300 to win the division, and I pounded the hell out of that line. And if it shifts up to above that, I'll probably repound the line again. So it's for the division. I really like this team because you can take New York. They're out of the division. You can take them out.
Yeah.
Washington, I really doubt that they're going to make a push for the division.
They're a dark horse.
They are, but I just don't feel like I just don't feel like it's going to.
You can't trust Carson Wentz.
No,
you can't. But there's always that possibility of him balling out.
Yeah, but
that changes everything.
Yes, but I just don't foresee that happening.
Understandable.
The Cowboys, on paper, they're very good, but Cowboys are going to cowboy as usual, and also they are severely underestimating the loss of Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I don't think that Dak's not that dude without the weapons.
Right.
And I like CD Lamb, but that coverage looks different when
Did
Amari
Gallup go
there.
back there? Did they lose Gallup too?
I believe he's still there. Let me look real quick. But I
He's
believe
he's I think if he's there, he starts the season hurt, I believe. He tore his
he is on the
yeah, he tore his ACL.
yeah, he did.
So I don't even know who's on the other side right now, Lamb. And then you got the tight end who's pretty good.
Yeah, I forget what his name is right now off the top of my head, but he's solid. He's not Jason Witten, but he's solid. Here's where the issue is. Number 21 behind him.
Right.
Zeke is cooked.
Leaking oil.
We talk about Harden being cooked.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke is
Yeah.
and it's strictly from overusage.
Yep.
He's not. I wouldn't say he's
His
old.
usage rate was like Luka Doncic's style. Luka uses rate.
Yeah, he just had
88%.
too many touches too early in his career. It just is and that's why he wanted that contract, understandably so, and justifiable for how he had played to that point in his career. But I don't think the Cowboys on paper, you have to give them the favorite because they last year,
Right.
all that.
Right.
But I really like the Eagles for this division.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would put them as this division, that means I would put them in the top 4. So let's address the broader topic now of the other teams now that we have decided that Eagles are going to be a top 4 team. I think Rams are better than them.
Yes.
I think the Rams should be the class of the NFC, in my opinion.
I would agree.
I think the Bucs are going to take a step back.
I agree.
Really do. They're still going to be there. But
I don't like them this year at all. I think they're, you got some, Arians is out, Bowles is in. So you got that even though they were on the same staff, still a little bit of transition. Leftwich is still there, which helps, but you don't know what's going on with Gronk.
And
Brady's out, Brady's back in.
I mean, eventually
this has one of those 2012 Eagles feels.
Eventually, Brady's going to hit a wall.
By the way, speaking of Brady,
I know. What is
I'm
that?
deal with Fox. Are you surprised by that at all? Because I am a little surprised.
I am.
I never saw him as a commentator.
That's not what I'm surprised at.
It's like Jordan being a commentator.
That's not what I'm surprised at.
What are you surprised about?
3 things about this deal. Number 1, he's getting paid more than Buck and Aikman put together.
Well, yeah, because they're looking because after them both leaving, they're looking for that face.
But here's the thing.
And Fox, I'm sure, after losing Buck and Aikman, they got some money to throw around in the broadcasting.
But here's the thing. So that's number 1. They got more than Buck and Aikman. Number 2, NFL's already the top watched thing in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Are more people really going to tune in for Brady? Think about it's already the number 1 watched thing.
Right.
How much more number 1 are they possibly going to do this with Brady?
I think this is just more. I think that this was a panic move.
Drew Brees sucks in the booth. No offense, Drew Brees. He sucks in the booth. I like him in the studio, but calling the game, Drew Brees sucks.
Yeah, they're hoping for the Aikman, Romo, Rub, that type of thing that he'll. But I don't know how good he's going to be at this.
This has nothing to do with Brady's knowledge of the game.
Right.
Obviously. That has nothing to do with it.
Personality-wise, I don't know if he has the personality for it.
You have to be comfortable ripping other players. And I don't know if he's comfortable. Aikman.
I don't know if that's where he'll struggle.
I think that's one of it.
On the players.
Well, no, I think that's one of it because Brady doesn't. When was the last time you heard him say a bad word about somebody in public?
Yeah, but he's a player right now.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't anything. JJ Redick, gold.
Yeah.
Brady doesn't have that personality. He doesn't Plus, at $37.5 million. If you watch the CBS broadcast, Tony Romo's on a lot of commercials while he's broadcasting.
Right.
To recoup that money, you need to use Brady in endorsements during the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have him on Fox pregame, on like you need to pimp Brady out for that $37.5 million.
And also too, it goes without saying too that it's for the analyst to be as good as the analyst is, you have to have a really good play-by-play guy.
Yes.
And that's what they have to find now is who is that guy? Because Joe Buck's been that guy.
And how long until this deal goes into effect? Because it doesn't go into effect till Brady retires.
He retires, right?
So, like, are they just is Fox on ice for a year, for 3 years? Like, how long is this deal? Plus, also, the guy, whoever
they must know that he's going to be retired within the next like 2 years.
So and here's what another thing is that's kind of messed up. Whoever they put on to take this spot until then, they're cutting the legs out from underneath him.
Right.
Like a lot of rumors that it's going to be Greg Olson. Well, now Greg Olson's sitting there like, well, I know in a year, 2, 3 years, my job's shot. So
I'll tell you what I do if I'm Fox, I go get like a Kevin Harlan.
Well, so they did announce the one right now. They did announce the lead guy, Kevin Burke something, I think.
Yeah, he's bland.
Is he?
Yeah,
so he's the lead guy right now.
Yeah, that's not great for them. That's not going to work at all.
No.
They need that doesn't move the needle at all.
No, not at all.
Kevin Burkhardt. No. That ain't it. That's a bad pick by them. They need, like I said, a guy like Kevin Harlan, who's a guy everyone knows, but still hasn't gotten that number one guy notoriety yet, would be the move. Or even I mean, well, I don't know, because this is a lightning rod, but like a Gus Johnson, because at least people will be talking. I know some people love him, some people don't, but at least people will be talking. No one's going to be talking about Kevin Burkhead. I think it's Burkhardt, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. But
that's what I mean. He's not memorable. He's been around forever.
Yeah.
Nobody
cares. That tells you that we don't even know his real name.
Nobody cares. Never with Fox with the games.
So yeah, I'm still gonna go. I'd still say Rams and Packers are above the Eagles.
Yeah,
I think right now until
implosion too. To be honest with you,
until I still have to go Bucks right now above the Eagles, but I'll put them in the 4 spot.
Yeah, because the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
No, the Cardinals.
Not worried about the Cardinals.
And you know the Niners.
Yeah, no. Have you heard what they the reports about Trey Lance?
It's not going well.
Oh, if we joked about Kyle Shanahan hating Trey Lance last year, I don't know if they're jokes anymore now.
Oh,
like this, like we're talking, like this could
just get bad.
Yeah, like there's a reason Jimmy G's still on the roster.
Right.
It's like that.
Oh boy, North Dakota State.
Gotta love it, right?
Should have known should have known he's good friends with Carson Wentz. You should have known.
Are they good friends?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
So a little bit of Saul talk before we out of here.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. So Gus, let's start there.
Okay, so
I have a theory.
Okay, give me your theory, then I'll give you mine.
I believe, and this is why you got to have the Gustavo show.
Yes.
I believe Gus is OCD.
Oh, I could have told you that already. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he's an OC. I think he's OCD, and like obviously, I want to see how he got that way. Like he definitely has some sort of cognitive something there with Gus.
I agree.
So obviously, it was a crossover. It was more of a crossover episode. Like this wasn't a splash episode.
This I would not classify this as a action-packed episode. This was a storyline start building some plot, filling some gaps episode.
Yeah, we find out where Lalo is, what Lalo's up to.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to
that was gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah. What do you know? Like I was getting a little confused. Why was he there? What does that mean to him?
Oh, so spoiler alert, if you didn't see the episode, I'm about to break it down. So that was his wife. The guy that Mike Kill's wife. He's trying to figure out what they were building. And he went to Germany.
Okay.
And found his wife.
Oh, her.
Yes.
Okay. I was
Remember, he showed him the thing. It was like, I'm building a chicken chiller.
Yes. Okay.
And because remember, Lalo got him on the phone.
Right.
And he started spilling all this stuff. Well, that's his wife. Remember, she was like, the attorneys came and they took everything. And I asked questions. They didn't. That was, I forget what his name is.
The dude. Yeah.
The old German guy who like left and came back. And
Yep.
that's his wife.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I get so Lalo is now seeing what they're building.
He's like, all right. He's like, I'm gonna go see what's happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why he was there.
Okay.
I'm not sure though what the importance of that like ruler thing that they had on that plaque.
Yeah.
That I'm still not 100% sure about. But I feel like that has something important to do.
Yeah.
But no, my theory on Gus is that I think he's starting to lose it. And what I mean by that is I think he's starting to get a little paranoid and a little psychotic. And you saw that. What's that? No, I'm saying beyond that. Like he's starting to go into like psychosis a little bit.
But that's what I mean. Like those, like that. But like when you have OCD and when things aren't in your control, it causes you to spiral. Like he's a guy that loves ultimate control.
Like that look on his face.
Scrubbing
the look on his face when he was scrubbing the shower.
Yeah, because
everything
in control of something, so I can be in control of cleaning the shower. I can be in control of where this pen sits on my desk. I can be in control of how everyone's cleaning los Polos Hermanos. Make sure everyone, because he's so particular about that restaurant, about how everything. He even said that comment he made to Mike about Mike's guy not knowing how to.
Yeah, he's not up to standards.
Yeah, up to his standards, and Mike was like, "What? All right, I'll find another guy. This is stupid. He's not there for that. He's there to protect you." But like this is like Gus. He wants ultimate control.
Yes. I'm really tired of Howard. Like I want that storyline to wrap up.
Yo, not Howard asking Jimmy to shoot a fair one.
Yo,
I was dying.
I'm here to see Mr. Ward, Mr. H.O. Ward.
Yeah. Like, and that fight was just as I would expect it to be between Howard and Jimmy.
I thought maybe Jimmy might snuff him and surprise him.
Yeah, those punches. Well, I mean, listen, we can't have Saul Goodman know how to fight. That's silly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You can't.
Saul's a sleaze. He can't know how to fight. Sleazes don't fight.
That whole like Hamlin, McGill, Forrest and Maine, Sandpiper,
right.
Merton, Mesa Verde. All that needs to wrap up.
Yeah, but now you have to ask yourself question like, how does that wrap now that Howard knows what Jimmy's up to?
Well, if you remember from like 2 episodes ago, they did a preview where they used some audio from Howard where he says to Kim, "I'm building a case against him."
Yeah.
So I believe we got one.
Cartel's going to take Howard out.
What's that?
Favorite of Jimmy? You think the Cartel's going to take Howard out as a favorite of Jimmy?
I don't, only because I don't think that I don't think Jimmy cares enough to have that happen.
At some point soon, we know Saul's going to be very in with the Cartel.
Yes, sometime very
soon. His money's coming. He's going to be the Cartel's guy.
Yes.
So that has to be coming within the next episode or 2.
I mean, he got his office.
Yep.
Starting to see that.
Yep.
So that's it's building. It's definitely building. Kim,
he has to have something to do for him to get here's my theory. For him to get on the graces of he's going to be with the Cartel, I feel like he's going to have something to do with Lalo being taken out. He's going to be involved in that somehow. Whether they use him to bait Lalo out, and something along those lines. He's going to have something to do big with Lalo finally being gone, and that's going to make Gus be like, "Who is this guy?" And Mike's going to be like, "Well, that's Saul Goodman. He's our lawyer. He's our retainer."
Yeah, just whatever he wants, just give it.
I think that's going to be the move.
I hope so. Like you said last week, those that stuck around are being rewarded.
We're being rewarded for this.
Being rewarded.
We struck through the valley with no water. We were like Jimmy and Mike in the desert.
Now we just need you to get through Ozark.
Yeah, now I need to finish that up. I feel like tonight we're gonna make some waves too. Tonight, I think I've watched 3 or 4. I've watched 3. I think I've watched 4. It was I'll tell you the ending of the episode, Matt, where Marty finally snaps and beats that dude's behind in traffic.
Oh, I think that's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, which you knew it was coming. You knew when he started confessing his sins to Charlotte. I knew he was about to snap.
Episode 5 is very. Make sure you guys are not talking and pausing during episode 5.
It's all coming back there.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a lot of what happens in 5 is extremely relevant at the end. So
Okay.
make sure you pay intense
Intention. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't pause and talk to Ozarks. It's not a pause and talk show.
No.
We don't drink on that show. We're very focused on what's
okay.
Yeah, very, very focused.
So before we get out of here, real couple, just a trio of birthdays.
Okay.
And just a couple of stuff. So we actually have a trio of birthdays today, which ironically, they're all the same age. So they were all the same birthday.
Interesting.
And quite an odd trio. Like, there's nothing in common that these 3 have either. Cam Newton.
Okay.
Black China.
Ooh.
And Ace Hood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about that trio.
Right.
All the same age.
Black China's lost a major lawsuit against the Kardashian crew.
I heard it already got thrown out, didn't it?
You got thrown out. I thought she lost.
I thought it got thrown. Well, she lost. Yeah, I know she didn't win. I heard she did not win.
Yeah, it didn't go well in her favor.
Well, it's almost her day of the week for her kids.
Right. Right.
And then also not too much in the world of sports for today outside of golf and soccer. So we're not going to address that. And really not a lot of music. However, it is let me just do the math real quick. 41-year anniversary of Bob Marley passing away. So, other than that, honestly, May 11th is a fairly boring day in history.
Fairly chill day in history.
Yeah. Except, obviously, of course, if you're Black China, Ace Hood, or Cam Newton.
Right. Right. Well, listen, I mean, it was a rough start to the show, obviously. So, listen, it's too late to jump off the bandwagon now. Like, it's not time to do that.
I mean, we're
locked in until we're this thing through. We just know what we're watching, and we'll be all locked in tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. See if they're gonna make us suffer for a weekend. We'll see. Game 6.
Oh, Marcus, you know what we're gonna have to do at the end of Saw? The end of Saw.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to go to Vegas and do a remote show from the Los Pollos Hermanos restaurant there.
Yeah, I need to try Los Pollos Hermanos.
Make sure you bring your life savings with you.
Is it expensive?
Oh yeah, like for an 8-piece bucket of fried chicken is like $28.
Okay.
Like
we'll dip into the 401k for this one.
Yeah, like it's not cheap.
It better be good chicken for $28.
I only had the chicken sandwich. Not the actual. It was delicious.
Okay.
It was delicious. I mean, it better be for a $19 chicken sandwich. It better be delicious, but it was. It was.
All right. Yeah, I'll check it out. All right. Well, listen, no show on Friday. My wife's birthday on Monday, so we're going to birthday weekend. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll be back Monday. We'll be doing obviously NFL schedule release. Hopefully, we'll be discussing how the Sixers are playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, and hopefully some Ozark talk, some Saul talk next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see what goes on there. Until then, Mark's be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show on social media.
Bradman Pod everywhere. BradmanShow.com for the merch. Check out our friends at Vans Jewelers for all your engagement, wedding needs, any type of jewelry they got for you.
Go get the bling bling. Yep, get the bling bling.
And until next time, you can be with us, you be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.